Good evening and welcome to another edition of HGP Sport. For today, I'm Jaden Samuels. Thanks for joining us. In the cast this evening, Guyana, after completing their final warm-up against Haiti, going down 1-3, now turns their attention to the Gold Cup. This means the Jaguars moves closer to June 18, where Guyana will ink history in its first Gold Cup encounter. The details in this report.
Guyana went down to Haiti 1-3 in their final game before heading off to the CONCACAF Gold Cup. The locals will play the USA on June 18, Panama on June 22, and Trinidad and Tobago on June 26. The team, led by head coach Michael Johnson, commenced an important period of encampment which is designed to ensure that the team is properly prepared and peaking in time for their Group D matches. A release from the Guyana Football Federation reveals that team bonding has been getting better by the minute, and following their first match against Bermuda on Thursday last in that country, Team Guyana made a long journey to Costa Rica, arriving in the wee hours of Monday morning. Touching a bit on team bonding, Johnson posited that it is getting better as the days go by, giving reference to unity among the local ballers with one common cause, which is Guyana. As it relates to the friendly encounter, Johnson reiterated that if it were only for the win, he would have been playing the strongest Guyana team, but reminded that it's about learning and trying to keep something back and just making sure that the players are taking on board all the information they are being given. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport.
Action in the 22nd Annual Primary Schools Edward Cobbina Memorial Windball Cricket Champions Trophy continues with wins for defending champions North Georgetown Primary and others. Organized by All Tour and Sport Promotions, North Georgetown were off to a winning start after making light work of last year's second place finisher Sophia Primary, who managed just 23 runs in their first innings, which proved not much of a challenge. North Georgetown completing the run chase without any casualties. Samuel Grant top scored. He made 12. In other matches, St. Margaret's 52 had the better of St. Pius, who made 50, while P.E. Pollard Primary made 53, with Alex Clark 28 and Anthony Griffith each stroking 28, which proved too much for Ketley Primary despite the effort of Christopher Nurse, who contributed 32. For the girls, West Rheinveld 41 lost to Smith Memorial, who scored 42, while in the other match, Redeemer 28 lost to St. Margaret's, who made 29. Still in cricket news, bad weather continues to hamper the Men's Cricket World Cup with more washed out games. Tuesday's fixture featuring Bangladesh and Sri Lanka was no different. Let's take a look.
3 washed out games so far in this edition alone, and the second straight day of no results is the situation with this year's Cricket World Cup. This now leaves Bangladesh precariously placed with a win and a washout after 4 matches in a World Cup that has seen the most rain in the tournament's history. For the second day running, the 2019 World Cup witnessed a no result that forced Sri Lanka and Bangladesh to walk away with 1 point each. This is the 5th World Cup being staged in England, and incredibly this one has already witnessed 2 abandonments, cancellations without toss, the most ever in a single edition. The result aside, Bangladesh will have a nervy next few days as star player Shakib Al Hassan picked up a thigh injury during training. In the Sri Lanka dugout, Lassit Malinga is set to make a dash home to Colombo for the funeral of his mother-in-law, but will return in time for Sri Lanka's next clash against Australia on Sunday. Jaden Samuels, HGP Sport.
Still more cricket news. Barbadian-born bowler Jofara Archer will be playing for England in their World Cup meet with West Indies on Friday. Here again, Samuel Gillis.
As if last Friday's fixtures in Southampton was not tantalizing enough, there will be an extra heat in England versus West Indies World Cup matchup on Friday, given the planned reunion between Jofra Archer and team for which he already have been mainstay. The Barbados-born archer, 24, has been one of the stars of the tournament to date, having qualified to play for England in April after the England Cricket Board chose late last year to reduce his residency period from 7 years to 3. And though he is far from unknown on account of his exploits in T20 leagues around the world, he has undoubtedly benefited in some of his early outings from a certain surprise factor, not least in his ability to bowl in excess of 90 miles per hour from an ambling run-up that scarcely requires him to break sweat. But according to Floyd Reefer, West Indies head coach and fellow Bajan, there will be nothing about Archer that can take his players by surprise on Friday, and he should know, having played alongside him in club cricket while he was still a West Indies youth prospect. To be honest, we know Jeffer for a long time, said Reefer. He is from Barbados, where we are from. We know him from the under 15, under 17, and under 19, so he's not new to us. Yes, he's bowling quickly, but there is nothing that we're not accustomed to. We are looking forward to the challenge. We will still see how it goes on Friday. West Indies is set to meet with England on Friday in their fourth meet of this World Cup. For GP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
Let's turn our attention to some basketball news. The ongoing National Basketball Festival continues with Bishops and St. Rose's High School making it through to the semi-finals. If Bladen Hall Secondary does not return for next year's festival, it will be because of a 47-2 defeat that handed Bishops their semi-final qualification. 9 rebounds and 5 steals. A. Matthias led the way with 15 points for Bishops High, with good support coming from P. Payne, notching up 8 points and 6 steals. St. Rose's earned their semi-final pass after trouncing Tutorial High 35-13 thanks to Chris Perez missing out on a double, scoring 19 points, and Carmelo Mari Sanhing chipped in with 14 points. Domino Shuffle, a song that has been familiar throughout the centuries, was at the weekend very prevalent during a competition that was rife with excitement and rivalry. Here again, Samuel Gillis.
Loch KYK Overall and Loch Fornius 4-game domino competition commenced on Sunday last at the Georgetown Cricket Club border. Turning Point, Providence, and All Seasons Racing Services registered victories. Turning Point marked 42 games, which trounced Mix Up 41 and Medicare, who made 30 in their encounter. Providence chalked up 45 games to win their matchup ahead of All Seasons Racing Services and Spartans with 43 and 38 games respectively. Marson Beaton top scored for Providence with 12 games. But All Seasons Racing Service were bound to beat Providence and Phantom in another meet. Each player had a turn to play the tile on the table. Spearheaded by 10 games apiece from Amanda Singh and Ronald Bihari, All Seasons Racing Services made 45 games, while their closest rival Providence ended on 42 and Phantom on 31. Sean Beaton led Providence with 12 games, while Junior Smith contributed 9, Colin Cave made 10, and Leal Gittins 8th for Phantom. For GP Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
This brings us to the end of another edition of HGP Sport. Do have a blessed evening, and remember, say yes to life, yes to sport, and no to drugs. Good night.